inspection, sir.
Built in 1689, Springhill House is a fine example of Williamite architecture. And I'm here today with Rachel. Rachel, you look absolutely beautiful. Dressed not in your usual style, I would take it.
No, I'm dressed as Diana Lennox Cunningham. She lived in the house during the 1940s with her mother, Mina, and she was the last generation of the family to ever live at Springhill.
And could you tell me a wee bit about the history of the house?
Springhill was purchased by the family originally in the early 1600s, but the original house at Springhill was burnt down. So the house that's behind me now was actually built in the late 1600s.
This Williamite house played its part in the 20th century, I believe, during the Second World War.
Yes, it did. The American soldiers were actually stationed at Springhill during the Second World War, and it's said that Diana Lennox Cunningham was aroused in the middle of the night constantly by the American soldiers, keeping her awake.
Rachel, there were many generations of Cunninghams who lived here. They all made their mark.
There are, yes, although it's reputed that one of the members of the family managed to stay well beyond their death, as Springhill is said to have the most well-documented ghost in Ireland.
A ghost in that house.
But whether the house is haunted or not is something you'll have to find out for yourself when you visit.
Isn't it amazing that a small place like Moneymore played such an important part during the Second World War? And I'm here with Aaron, dressed in the uniform of the RAF, to tell me a wee bit about that turbulent period in history.
Yes, that's correct. As RAF officers, they would have been stationed at local airfields in the area, and they would have worked with the soldiers that were stationed here at Springhill.
And when did the military become involved in Springhill for the Second World War?
It was in 1941 that the British Army requisitioned the house, and that's when they brought in the Berkshire Regiment. When they left, the American soldiers were brought in. They requested that the family leave the house, but the lady of the house actually refused, and so the family stayed in one half of the house while the American soldiers stayed in the other half. Well, there were supplies sent here, they packaged them, but they also did a lot of training here at Springhill as well before being moved off to warfare.
And the American soldiers left here to play such an important part in D-Day. Springhill House is part of the Heritage Trail in Moneymore. Why not come and visit? But all those stories about ghosts, I'm not too sure about that. You better make up your own mind.